the ing
දයාබර දූ දරුවනි ඔබේ ඉංග්‍රීසි දැනුම වැඩි දියුණු කිරීම සඳහා අපි ඔබට අත දෙන්නෙමු. ඔබ සඳහාම සකසා ඇති මේ සරල ඉංග්‍රීසි පාඩම් මාලාව තුලින් ඔබේ දැනුම තවත් වැඩි කරගන්න. ලෝකයේ අනෙකුත් රටවල් සමග අත්වැල් බැඳගන්න අපි ඉංග්‍රීසියෙන් කතා කරමු.
Cuba is a place. Africa is a continent. Russia is a country. Yes, these are different places on the earth. And we can describe these places in different ways. We can talk about the languages that they talk or the languages that are used amongst the people of those countries. Lots of people in the United States of America speak English. But in France, the people speak French. And in Brazil, people speak Portuguese. Yes, Brazil is in South America, but the language is from Europe, because Portugal is in Europe. So because of history and what happened in the past, certain places in different parts of the earth have interesting language distinctions or languages which are spoken and used in those countries. In China, they speak Chinese. In your part of the country, what language do you speak? How can you describe your country? You could say, we are a small country. You could say, we are an island. You could say, in our country, there are 3 languages which are spoken: Sinhala, Tamil, and English. So that too is a way of describing your country. And there are other countries we can describe by saying India is bigger than Sri Lanka, and China is bigger than India. Or we could even say England is smaller than Africa. So these are also different ways of describing your own and other countries. There is more about the usage of these words that will come up now. So please listen and watch very carefully.
Do you remember what we learned last week? We learned about time and irregular verbs. Let's look at a compass. Have you seen a compass? It's got 4 main directions. That's north, south, east, and west. In a country, there are different kinds of towns and features. The different kinds of towns could be a village or just a town. The capital is the main town in a city or a country. A port is a city or a town close to the river or the sea. A resort is a town where people go on holiday. Now let's talk about features of a country. In Sri Lanka, some of our physical features are mountains, rivers, and waterfalls. A country could also have a lake. The bit of land closer to the sea is called the coastal area or the coast. Do you live in a town close to the sea? Well, you could say, I live on the coast, or I live on the sea. They mean the same thing because they are both close to the sea. All over the world, people speak different languages. In the Middle East, they speak Arabic. In France, the language is French. People also speak German, Japanese, and Swedish. If you went to Poland, you'd find the people there speak Polish. If you went to Turkey, you'd find the people there speak Turkish. If you go to Portugal, the language there is Portuguese. The same way, languages like Russian, Italian, and German are spoken all over the world. What language do we speak in Sri Lanka? Well, we speak 3 languages, Sinhala and Tamil. And some of us, like we're learning today, are speaking in English. If you were given the chance to go to another country, which would you choose? Well, you could start by looking at the continent you want to go to. That's right, continent. Several countries collected together are usually placed on a continent. In the continent of Europe, we find countries like Switzerland and Germany. India and Sri Lanka are in the continent of Asia. Egypt and Kenya are in the continent of Africa. You could also choose countries in North America, South America, and Australia, which is special because it's a country and a continent all by itself. But how would you go? Well, first of all, you'd have to get your passport. Then you'd have to book a flight, after which you'd probably get your ticket. Once that's done, you could prepare for departure or leaving the country where you are now. Make sure you book a hotel room in the country of your destination. That's the country that you're going to be in. And make sure that you pack right and travel as light as possible. Ready to go? Then happy travels.
One of the words we would like to learn and maybe find out more about by referring in your dictionary is the word post. Post. You see, post has more than one meaning. There is the act of posting a letter. That means you have an envelope, there's a letter inside, we have sealed the envelope, then we put a stamp on the envelope and we post the letter. That's to post. Now, from that word we have the service which is rendered by the state and we refer to as the postal service. But post has also the meaning of something like a tree or something which stands up and is fixed to the ground. The mile post is one of those. Yes, the mile post that indicates to us the distance from a particular location to the other. A post, a mile post. You could even have a post on which wires are fixed. The electric wires are fixed. That is an electric post, we sometimes would say. So that's a meaning of post. Now the other word is very familiar. Tourist. Tourist. Who or what is a tourist? Usually It refers to a person who travels on holiday, occasionally even on business, but for those who are traveling from one country to another or from one place to another, we don't usually say a businessman is a tourist. We say he is a business traveler or a sales representative, traveling representative. But tourist usually has the meaning of a person who travels to another country or another place to enjoy the scenery, the history, or to examine and study how people conduct themselves and behave. You may be even knowing some people who are tourists who have come by your home or seen you somewhere. Yes, but they don't always have to be foreigners, no. Even you could be a tourist traveling from your home to another place in Sri Lanka, yes. So we refer to them as local tourists. So that's another interesting word to keep in mind and get to know to use correctly. Well, that's it. Bye for now.